with the breath. Invite any expression that comes throughout the session. Maybe there's a sound, maybe there's some emotions. Check moment to moment what's present in your body. Connect with the body sensations, with emotions. So we checking moment to moment. BBTRS modality is very much anchored in the somatic experience. So whatever comes in your body in this moment is so important to embrace. At any point of the practice, if you feel that the practice might be maybe too much, too intense, then slow down the breath to the nose breath for a moment, rest, check in, and come back when you're ready. I wonder how many of you are doing breath online class or breath work at all ever for the first time in your life? Please raise your hand so I can see, or make a comment. Yeah, I see a few people. So Lilia, you ask for volume up. I'm on full volume. I am presenter, so you have to adjust volume on your computer. So my volume is full on. I will also use at some point microphone, so you need to adjust in your computer volume. So it's so for those of you okay. So for those of you who are for the first time, at some point of the session, you might experience maybe a numbness. We call it numbness in the limbs, in the hands or feet or sternum. When that happens, just slow down your breath, bring some movement, and it will pass. Usually this condition lasts for a few minutes. It passes. So don't panic or don't worry about it. It will pass. Good. One more thing about today's class. This class will be for about 1 hour active part of breathing. Then we'll leave space for some sharings at the end. And after this class, in the same call, we will stay for extra hour for Q&A. We have decided to offer for our community Q&A every second Sunday. So if you like to stay for Q&A on the same call, you can stay and ask some questions about modality, about our trainings, or anything else that you might want. So this will be possible to continue for another hour after the class is finished. Let's just check in maybe for a moment. Check in with yourself. What is your intention? What brought you here today for the class? Start observing your breath. You might have your eyes closed and check inside. What's alive in your life at the moment? What's present? Breath can be a very powerful tool to help us process certain emotions, certain experiences. So how do you want to use breath today in the class? What's alive? When you're ready, I invite you to start deepening your breath. Start breathing a little deeper. Bringing awareness to your sternum, to your spine. Fill up your lungs with deeper breath. Bring awareness how the breath flows front of the sternum, between scapulas, under the armpits. Just really involve all thoracic area so your breath can flow deeply. Allowing breath to reach your belly, your diaphragm. Each inhale, slightly deeper, more expanded. In and out through the nose. For the beginning, we just connect with softer breath. Checking moment to moment also sensations in the body, feelings. All what's important is just staying with the breath, conscious breath. Just deepening the breath and changing, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth with little deeper breath. Mouth slightly open. And don't force it, don't force it, just allowing it. For now, it's about allowing. And some of you are already in the movement. I invite you to start movement, bring some movement, maybe starting from the neck and shoulders, trying to connect with this spinal fluidity from your sacrum through the thorax. So there is a breath, there is a movement connected through the spine. And just explore the movement. Maybe it's back to front, maybe side to side. There's no agenda with the movement. Trust your body wisdom to find the right movement. Imagine you are seaweed in the ocean and your body is moved gently by the water, by the warm waters. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Good. Finding parts of the body that might feel more interrupted and bring movement into those parts. Maybe some parts are stiff or there's some tension there, and bring movement, bring mobility in those parts. Melting, melting, bringing more fluidity in the body. Letting go any tension, allowing gravity to move your body. But it's slow, connected. Add also shoulders, movement of the shoulders, such an important part for opening up the upper thorax. Use your shoulders like a wings of the bird and bring some movement. And now, if you wish, take it a little bit deeper with the breath. Still inhale, nose, exhale, mouth. Find a deeper way to breathe into your body, into the movement. If there's any sound or emotion comes, allow yourself to express any sound. Can use some touch and maybe find area on the body that are stiff, maybe some around the neck, and with the touch, melt it. Use your touch, self body work, or softer, nourishing touch, especially around the neck. Let the breath reach your heart. Let the breath reach your belly with open diaphragm. Allow your body to guide you. Just check in for a moment. What's present again? Putting hands on your place of resource, place where you feel alive, connected. And just check in for a moment. To go back to your center. Then we'll move on with deeper breath again. This time, bring awareness to the movement more in the lower back. Lower back, lower ribs. You can put your hands on the lower ribs while you're connecting with the movement to melt this area. To open more diaphragmatic segments. And another breath. If you find some tension in your diaphragm, also you can use your fingertips and sink into your diaphragm under the ribs, going deeper into diaphragm. If you catch yourself stopping breath or movement, keep coming back to the breath, keep coming back to the movement. Sometimes we disassociate for a moment and bring yourself back into the practice. Maybe there's still some parts that needs to be more fluid and open up with the movement. And then I invite you to continue the movement, the breath, standing up, finding ways to stand up and bring the movement all the way from your feet. The feet are foundation, so really pay attention to your grounding. Pay attention to your inner outer arch, to the movement in your ankle, in your knees, and just continuing through whole chain the movement with the breath. Opening ankles, hips, knees. Let it flow through your spine. Fully grounded, fully connected to your feet. Continue with unwinding movement with the breath. What is the sensation in your feet? What is the sensation in your pelvis, in your belly? How is your breath flowing through the practice? And deepen the breath at this point if you wish. So you can breathe in through the mouth and you can breathe out through the mouth. But don't force it. Make it more gentle, more softer, more connected to yourself. There's no need to force anything. And again, the practice is about standing and allowing the movement through your feet while you stand, while you unwind. Connecting with your feet, connecting with your legs, connecting with the earth and the breath. All the time coming back to the body sensations, to what's present in this moment. What are you sensing? What are you feeling? And in the next stage, I would like to invite you to keep breathing, staying with the breath, and we'll go into shaking. So allow the shake, the gentle shake through the body, opening pelvis, belly, throat, chest. Every single joint in the body goes into gentle shake to create more liquid, more fluidity. Shake it off. Include your brain, your face. Soft shake and the breath. Stay connected with the feet. Just finding a way to come to stillness, to integrate, checking in what's present in your center, checking any sensations, feelings. And connecting to the place of resource, place of safety in your body. Breathing into that place. And then from there we continue with some more unwindings in a softer way. Some superficial layers has been melted. So continue now opening the core of the body through the movement, through the breath. Many layers. Finding full fluidity through whole body. Every joint in the body is now open, fluid, warm, flexible. No tension. Let go any tension with the movement and with the breath. Inhale mouth, exhale mouth. Staying fully connected with yourself. Staying with the practice, staying with the breath and movement. It's a full spinal movement. Becoming like a silhouette in the ocean, becoming fluid. What is the new way of the movement? What is the creative way of the movement? If you find yourself repeating repetitive movement, find a new creative way, something that you have never done before. Maybe some rotations in the shoulder and pelvis. Full range of spinal movement, as much as your body allows you. Opening to the bliss, opening to the aliveness in your body, to your energy. What's your unique expression of the body, of the breath? Fluidity in your feet, in the ankles, in the knees. That's your base. If we lose fluidity in our base, we lose fluidity in the whole body. So regain the fluidity in your feet, grounding. And I invite you to slowly find a way to wind down the movement and go back to your chairs, go back to your sitting where we started. And at this point, we will shift the breath to the nose breath. Inhale nose and exhale nose. There's still some movement and unwinding in this position. Allow this gentle movement. Otherwise, I invite you to close your eyes and look inside, to coming back to your center, checking in what's present in this moment, focusing on gaps between inhalation and exhalation, just to bring you in this moment. Connecting with your heart, with your belly. And simply witnessing, observing the breath. Maybe there's still gentle sway, but very gentle sway, then allow it. Very softly. Inhale and exhale, and just witness the gaps between. What you're witnessing in the gaps between inhale and exhale. Bring also awareness to your physical body and the edges of the body where the skin meets the air, when the matter meets ether. Just check what's on the edges. Between our physical body and our energetical body. Between the core and the skin. How you perceive the upper body versus lower body. And the sense of integration. Few more minutes, we'll just observe, witness with soft breath, very soft and gentle breath.
From darkness to the light, from the earth to the open skies, lead me from death to eternal life. Oh Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real, lead me from darkness to the light, from the earth to the open skies, lead me from death to eternal life. Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyoti Gamaya Mrityoma Mritam Gamaya Satoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyoti Gamaya Mrityoma Oh Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real, lead me from darkness to the light, from the earth to the open skies, lead me from death to eternal life. Oh Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real, lead me from darkness to the light, from the earth to the open skies, lead me from death to eternal life. Masatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyoti Gamaya Mrityoma Mritam Gamaya Masatoma Satgamaya Tamasoma Jyoti the unreal to the real. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Lead me from the earth to the open skies. Lead me from death to eternal life. Oh Lord, lead me from the unreal to the real. Oh Lord, lead me from the darkness to the light. Lead me from the earth.
Welcome back after short break. And we will start with Q&A. So as you notice, we start offering these sessions for community that might have any questions around our modality or around the training. So please, if you have any questions, then unmute yourself and let's start. Who would like to start? Any questions?
Hi, I'm happy to go.
Dav, yeah?
Yeah,
Start.
hi. Thank you so much for that session. It was amazing. When, as a facilitator, what do you feel as if do you have an internal checklist of what you're trying to, well, I guess I'm interested in what's going on for you whilst you're facilitating a training like this, not a training, sorry, a breathwork session.
What's happening for me? First of all, I'm checking with the group what's present with the group as a collective. So I'm guiding kind of general session, but I constantly checking individually on the screen whoever is on what's present in their session. So I'm really checking with myself what's my agenda versus where are the people. I usually have some playlist beforehand. I usually have in head the direction where we're going, so there is certain flow that I have in mind, but I really check in with all community what's happening, and I'm adjusting the flow. I'm adjusting the depth of the breath accordingly to the group. So for me, it's like a constant checking in with my body, with my felt sense, with my breath, what's happening for me, and stepping out of my process to stay as as clear as possible to support collectively everybody else. I'm checking in the music, I'm checking in the comments, so sometimes there's a lot of things going on at the same time, so I need to be really connected with myself when I guide this kind of session.
Okay. Thank you. And I'd love to hear more about the training as well, whenever you...
Correct. So maybe I will share my screen. Because I think, firstly, maybe I will send you link to certificate. Okay, there's a link that I will send you to our training. And I will share the screen and I will explain you. It's easier when I explain you on the screen. I think that's it. All right, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So the link I send you is that website. And here, if you go to certification training, you have all these different you have overview and there's different path of the training. So if you scroll down, the easiest way is to scroll down and check it on this table. There's this table here, and let me just hide this because this is on my way. How do I do it? Oh, now it's good. So you have 5 tracks. So the first track is experiential in-person training. So what it means that we are offering in-person trainings and online training. The full certification consists of in-person trainings and online training. In-person training lasts 7 days, and online training lasts 5 months, has 3 modules. So you can just go into the calendar on our website and choose any in-person training where you like. And we do it in Mexico, United States, Poland, Estonia, Canada. So you choose whatever fits your schedule and location for in-person. And this is just for your own experience. You go for 7 days, you breathe, and you exchange the session. This is track 1. Track 2 is the similar one, but you just sign up for online training. So online training, we are releasing right now. There are 2 cohorts a year. One is usually in September. Now coming up will be 20th September. We're starting new online cohort until January or February for 5 months. And that's where you're learning this modality, how to give one-on-one online session and group session. So this is track 2. Track 3 is where you become professional online practitioner. So you're doing online training and you become practitioner. Also, you're giving 35 feedback sessions. So you start practicing with your clients. So you're doing online, and during online you're practicing, and after your practice sessions, you're sending us at the end of the training 35 online sessions and all the requirements of your learning study hours, and then we give you certification to become online practitioners. You can start working with this modality professionally for online. Track 4 is advanced professional practitioner in person and online. What that means is you complete online training with all requirements with 35 sessions, and you have to attend to 2 in-person trainings, whatever location you want. And this you can combine. You can do one in-person first, then you can sign up for online, and then you can do another in-person after you finish online, or you can do first online and then do 2 in-person. Or during online, you can choose to do 1 in person and then after 2nd in person. But generally, you need to do online training for 5 months and 2 in-person trainings within 2 years period. So you have 2 years to complete online and 2 in-person trainings. And then the last track is professional facilitator in person and online. This is where you doing track 4, which is you're doing online training and 2 in-person trainings. And also we will release next year a short training for facilitators for group sessions. This will be coming up soon. And after releasing and after completing this training for group facilitator, you become facilitator for online session, 101, in-person, and group sessions. So this is the final track 5 when you're getting the full package. And here in the table, I don't read it now, but if you scroll into this table, you will see all the breakdown of your hours, of the training online for a self-study curriculum, the pricing. And then if you click learn more, you will have more explanation of those tracks. So I know it looks a little bit complicated at the beginning, but in essence, track 5 is where you become a professional facilitator for in-person, online, in-person, 101 in-person, 101 online, and in-person and online group facilitation. So I send this link, I think, to the group, and just scroll down again and read more about the training. I hope it makes sense. Does it make sense?
Yeah, I actually do have a question. There were a couple of ladies who were on the call today who did the training, but it seemed as if they had a period where they hadn't then practiced. Is that a common thing that you see, that people do the training and then kind of fall off the wagon a bit?
Look, it all depends on your priorities, why you're doing this training. Some people are very clear that this becomes their profession, and they are very focused, very dedicated, very motivated, and they follow up on all commitment. There are people who start doing it for self-experience and then experiential track, and then they realize, wow, this is actually, I would love to work with people this way. It's amazing. And they start taking it as a professional route, and they maybe have a gap of month, two, and then after a gap they continue with feedback session and continue with other commitments. So it varies. It varies on the person. Also, people come with different lifestyle, different resources, time-wise, and so in general, we really support clients and students to start all the enrollment as soon as possible, so it doesn't pile up for the end. So when you are getting into the certification, we don't want you to be in the situation when you have to do 50 or 40 feedback sessions and in a short time, because then it becomes overwhelming. So we give you tools to keep tracking those sessions from very early of the training, so you can really get this done before you get certified.
Thank you.
Does it answer
Yeah.
the question? All right. There's a question from Inger. Question: when I start, is it the best to know which track I choose? Would that cost less at the end? Does just sum up? So Inger, you can choose any track you want, and you can change it later. It sum up. It doesn't cost more. You will just go on, and you might choose track 4. And then you finish track 4, and then you realize, oh, actually, I would like to be a group facilitator also. And you pay the difference only for the course for group facilitators. So that's how, or you can, yeah. So I hope that's clear. It looks like it's clear. Thank you. Any other questions?
Hi, Nisada.
Hi, Deshana. Great to see you. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now it's good.
Okay, sorry. So my question is, because I know you are also a massage therapist, and I myself is a massage therapist, and I'm actually thinking of continuing to do this biodynamic breathwork training as an additional modality to my massage. My question is, do you kind of integrate a massage session with the breathwork session, or it's better to keep it as a separate, like, massage is massage and trauma healing is trauma healing?
Look, yeah, it's a great question. when you start understanding trauma healing, you can bring it into any modalities you do, because you start understanding the physiology of trauma, how to regulate nervous system, and when you start understanding that, it doesn't matter if you're doing breath work or massage, you can still find the ways to help the clients to regulate and come back to ventral vagal complex for more safety, bring them out of freeze, disassociation. So definitely I suggest that you keep breath work as we teach, but as a massage therapist, it's a huge advantage for you, because a big part of our teaching is touch and body work. So coming already with experience of touch, it would be very easy for you to understand how we use touch, superficial layers, deep layers, why we're using, and what type of touch we're using with certain clients, because it varies. We're not always using the same type of touch for everybody. But in essence, we don't want to bring too much touch, so the person that can experience the gaps and be more connected to their body somatically without being touched. So it's better to keep it separate from massage, because it's not a massage, but the touch skills is very, very important. So you will have huge advantage in the training knowing already about touch.
Yeah, so basically the reason why I'm asking is I can kind of imagine if someone comes into my session and they are not too open, right? Like when they come in, they share with me there's something going on in their life, and for me, I see it as it's a very good modality to lead them into some kind of breath work and releasing. But at the same time, a lot of my clients are not really in touch with themselves yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, do I actually suggest during the session, like, okay, shall we do a little bit of breath work and see how it goes? Or should I just keep it like, if you're interested, book another session with me, we go into the breath work, like more kind of specifically. Because I don't feel, I mean, I don't know whether now is the appropriate time to ask all these questions, but I just feel like, how do we bring the message of breath work and trauma healing across to somebody that we so much know that they needed it, but do we do it at that same time when they come for the session, or should it be another session?
Look, if you offer this as in your portfolio, then the client will know that they sign up either for massage or breath and trauma release, and they will read what this modality do for them. So on the entry, they will decide what they want to work with, or they might not know, but then you suggest them, okay, let's work with breath work and trauma release, and you add only touch as a one of the elements, but you don't do massage. But knowing breath work in your massage session, you can get people more into the movement, more into the charge, more into the breath. So help them to connect more with their feelings and emotions. So this can be very beneficial, but usually, you present your offer to the clients and they decide what they want to work with. Either it's breathwork and trauma release or massage, because they are different. It's better not to merge them, those modalities, especially in the beginning. And then when you get confidence and clarity, then maybe there will be more organic flow between those modalities, and you will find a more fluid way to combine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Deshana. David.
Hi. I wanted to know a bit more about what's specific to this methodology, maybe in comparison to holotropic breathwork or reverting these other modalities.
Okay. So we are working with it's trauma-oriented breath modality. What it means that we are very embodied modality. We're bringing experience very much into the body, into the felt sense. We're working a lot with resourcing. So before going into the session, we spend quite a lot of time first with the clients to bring them into the safe place, into understanding about their emotions. We start pendulating on the very early stage. Pendulation, titration, those are terms coined by Peter Levine from trauma-oriented modalities, where you start building a gap between trauma vortex and counter vortex. My understanding of holotropic breath or rebirthing, those are modalities that are focusing on a bit more altered state of consciousness, where you really go on, you breathe a lot, very fast, very strong, and at some point you enter a very powerful field of, altered state of consciousness. We don't do that. Our modality is very down to the earth, down to the body. So we start building the breathing very slow. And what it means that, when we build trauma, basically, there is a lot of feelings trapped in this trauma vortex. And there's a tendency that we think that if we go to this trauma vortex very fast, very quick, we scream it out, we go intensely, we will somehow let it go, this heaviness from our shoulders. So we want to go there fast and intensely, and that's not really what heal the trauma. The trauma healing is when we have those edges of trauma vortex and we start building counter vortex, which is safety in the body, which is felt sense, and we start pendulating, moving between edges, outer edges of trauma vortex and counter vortex. And we do it gradually by a few times in the session, in a very gentle way. So eventually, when we enter the center, the primary emotion of this trauma vortex, which is stuck for many years, we can really be present to express that feeling. Yeah, it's not overwhelming because we have constantly this connection to our body and the safety of our body, versus if we straight in go into that center of primary emotion, and very often that emotion that is stuck there, it's too overwhelming to feel it. So that's the main difference, that we really pay attention to those elements of titration, pendulation, and resourcing. And we keep breath as a tool to help us move between trauma vortex and counter vortex, because they have to exist both to heal the trauma. Yeah, to open the window of tolerance of nervous system. If we just move to trauma vortex, for majority of people, it's too fast, too intense, and it's overwhelming. They go into shock, they might go into panic, and especially if you work online, you lose your client, because if you are in that state of shock, panic, or disassociation, it's very difficult to bring somebody back. So we completely avoid those states that you might experience in holotropic or rebirthing. This is something that we find not really supportive trauma healing. Does it make sense, David?
Yes, sure. So it would be more focused also on developing a process, a therapeutic process with the client, as I understand. Like, you're giving resources, you're like expanding the window of tolerance, and little by little, you're like going deeper with the client, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And at some point, do you also like work with those expanded states of consciousness, or it's just not part of the system, like regarding like holotropic breathwork, for example?
We work with everything. The main rule is everything has to be present and connecting to the body. If you experience altered state of consciousness and you fly with the spirits and you have connection with the upper world, underworld, it's beautiful. As long as you really, there's a witness, there's still witness present in the body, observing what's happening within the body with the felt sense. So anything is okay, unless it's everything is okay within the felt sense and expression within the body. So we don't avoid those states either. They just needs to be embodied.
Okay, great. And is there also structure on how to develop that process during time, like
yes,
like, or maybe different instances of the process and like sessions in that one-to-one work with the client, for example?
yeah. We first spend some time to give you understanding of trauma, understanding anatomy of trauma, anatomy of breath, and then you will learn a whole process how to guide clients using those elements in the session. So definitely you will learn how to hold space for it.
Great, thank you so much. That's clear.
Yeah, thank you, David. Anybody else?
Sorry, Nisaga.
Yeah.
I have another question or two. So with the practitioner training, the payment, is it all we have to pay in one shot?
Look, about the payment schedule, I don't know. You need to ask individually. For when you sign up, you can ask if there's any. I think there's installments options, and I know there is also a way of the discounted price. If you pay for all cost in advance, there's 20% off. But in terms of payment schedule, I think Noraya will be the best person to ask. So when you register or there's an email to ask, just ask Noraya in the office, because I'm not sure what are the payment breakdowns. I'm sure
Okay.
there's some options. There's some options.
And I don't know whether if I missed it, but you said the next training is in September, and then when is the next one?
The next one, let me check. I think we plan something in February.
Okay.
Something in February, yeah. It will be announced, I think, in October, but it's around February. Next
So
one.
usually it's like twice a year. Is that right?
Twice a year, and next year we will do 3 cohorts. We'll do 3 a year. But
Okay.
now it's 2 a year. It's usually February and September.
Okay, super. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi, Nisagra.
Hi, Sabina.
I have a question. I don't have much experience with breathwork, so for me it's more like an experiment. And I had a very tough time recently, and during trauma event, I will say like that, I have a freeze response, and somehow I start doing this breathwork, I think even with you, and it was many months ago. And I think it was even more traumatic, or maybe I just finally let feel all of that. I wasn't frozen. However, for another 3 days, I have very strong somatic response, including diarrhea, shaking, and everything. I have to be much more careful with that. What I did wrong, because it freaked me out for quite long time. I come back to breath work, and right now is easier, but I'm on a safe place right now, so situation change. However, it can be dangerous on traumatic situations.
Look, thank you for sharing this, Sabina. Look, sometimes we can experience in the breath some situation when we go back to the past experience, and there's a reconnection with the freeze response, and that's why we really want to keep this modality within the safety, within the pendulation titration. So it seems to me like you have encountered through this experience there's something that through the sensitivity and regaining felt sense of your body, you're regaining these experiences. Something gets opened up, and it can, like breath work can be re-traumatizing. People can get re-traumatizing if it's not held in a very gentle way. I don't know if you were in the session before. You were in the session today?
Yes, I just joined later on.
Yeah.
However,
So you see how we run the sessions. Like if you are familiar with some other practices, we run the session in a very gentle, soft way, very resourceful, the soft nose breath. So we need to really pay attention. For some people, what we've done even today, maybe for you it's even too much. So we, in the training or in one-on-one session, we have to pay individually attention to what is your history, what is your state, because with, let's say, complex PTSD, or some cases, even what we've done today can be too much. So that's why I suggested before session, if at any point of the session this practice is too much, slow down and rest. Have a gentle nose breathing, and don't go into shaking, don't go into deep unwinding, because for some cases, even unwinding can be too much, can trigger response system. So we really look individually in everybody case. Normally it's safe, our modality is safe for everybody. Until now we didn't have any case that somebody left the training, or for somebody was too much. But definitely looks like in your case, if you were my client 101, we would need maybe do one session just simply sitting together, having nose breath and scanning the body and connecting with the felt sense, because you need to create a lot of counter vortex. You need to create a lot of safety in the body, because there is a lot of disassociation, and when some movement comes, you might go straight into the freeze. And as you mentioned, there's some other responses on your body that are very intense after the session. So it's very individual, but in general, modality is very safe when it's really including everybody in the individual way, and that's what we are doing.
So I don't want to stop my body, because on beginning I feel like this accelerated.
Can I see you? Can I see you? Can I see you? Can you open camera?
Moment.
Because I think I speak to you, but I prefer to see you.
I don't have much light.
Okay.
Okay. I think that on beginning, usually taking a breath, it's taking a lot of effort for me. It's easy for me. Don't take a breath, dive deep in the water. I'm a diver also. So not holding a breath, this is my natural state. And when I start taking a breath, this beginning is very, very tough. And on some point, something click. And then my body, I'm just following my body. And then everything getting smooth, but I finishing with cramps in my hand. I cannot take my fingers down. And I'm shaking. And mostly is every week I'm doing it, every Sunday. And in last month is every single session, but I think it's cleaning something. Sometimes I can shake it out, I can dance, but sometimes after session, I'm still with ticklish for like half an hour.
Yeah, I think for you, I think for you, you need longer integration. After, even if its session is 1 hour and you plan to do session with us the Sunday session, give yourself half an hour, 40 minutes to have no other commitments and just lay down and rest. Because your body goes into activation even with those simple practices. And there is a tremor shake, so you need more of the integration to move from because there's still fight or flight. The shaking is still released from fight or flight. So to move from fight or flight, from sympathetic to ventral complex of parasympathetic nervous system, to go into this state of peace, calm, and settlement, your system needs more time. Because you're firing up very fast, and when you stay there, maybe it's too much. So schedule yourself extra half an hour after our sessions, and then lay down and watch the breath and stay with this shake, stay with this tremor, watch it and be connected to your resource, so you can slowly shift to ventral complex, the parasympathetic nervous system, and then as you said, it's something is cleaning. So you coming back to this session because you see it's actually cleaning something is shifting, and eventually you start opening the window of tolerance of your nervous system and coming more and more to parasympathetic nervous system, instead of being in the state of anxiety or fight or flight. So it's a journey that takes time, because we cannot just unwind and rewind the plasticity of nervous system within 3 sessions. Sometimes it takes months or years for some people, and it's a gentle journey to go back into that state of safety and yeah.
And the last question, is it a good idea connected with EFT tapping, if you know this modality?
Yeah, I mean, not during the breath, but I mean, if you stay present with yourself, with the body, you can combine it with EFT. Just really make sure that it's not gonna bring more of the charge. You want to avoid the charge in your case, so you can do gentle tapping. Just make sure you're connected, embodied, and with the resource.
Thank you very much. It's making my journey easier and safer after confirming few things. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you, Sabina. Anybody else? No more questions. Okay, then thank you very much, everybody. You will get your recording soon, and have a beautiful evening, beautiful day. Thank you very much for joining. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was awesome.